Way back, like I earlier said, that tourism, one would think some certain sectors need someone with bigger brains, and that goes for men, and then it needs someone who has a little bit of energy, extra energy and muscles on them. But having a woman who knows more to do with the tourism and the tour guiding itself, because there's a lot for you to understand when it comes to tour guiding. You need to have the knowledge of most of the species and all that.
Yes.
And then they would think that a woman cannot be interested and take part in such initiatives.
Okay, historically, we've been having a challenge of gender biases and then the stereotypes affecting the women all over the world. Not only in the tour company, not only in the tourism industry, but then the world has been open. The world is open to everyone out there. Women are being involved in everything, and I just encourage the women out there. It's not all about being a man. No, the world is open. We need to go about with all these challenges, and then we bring the women on board. Yes.
Yeah, lifting up a sister, amazing work. Just next to me, she's already smiling. I'm having Mutesi Madina, a student. Like I always say, this platform enables the students out there to try to figure it out where they can get to. And the good thing on the platform, all these are working women, so you need to create space for Mutesi. How is your morning?
My morning is beautiful, though I'm a little nervous.
It is okay, we'll let you be nervous a little bit, but hey, you're going to enjoy yourself.
Hopefully, yes.
You're all welcome to the National Broadcaster. How do you feel today? It's your day and you're celebrating you. What would you love the public to get to know about you?
Well, I feel great and honored to be a part of this show, first thing. And the fact that it's our day, it is just beautiful. And I feel so good being different, really. And to all my sisters and brothers with albinism out there, happy International Albinism Awareness Day. This is your day, and this is our day to actually shine and show the world what we can do. And just a little and simple advice to you all is that we can make it. We can be whatever we want to be, regardless of our color, regardless of how different we look. Yes.
Wow. Well, for the viewer out there, that's my panel. Just unveiled them, and now we're getting to our discussion. Just shortly, I'll get back to Juanita. How does it feel to be a woman and then you're an entrepreneur and you're working? How do you find it working in Uganda? Because we know others don't want to travel, find opportunities elsewhere. And also being a woman and working, questions come through. She has a bigger check, and then the man is trying to question, and then the community demands, everyone wants a portion of the woman. Church needs you, the community wants you, your children need you, maybe your partner wants your attention, and they need you to deliver at your place of work, yet at times you're also a CEO somewhere else.
I know it's not easy, but when you persist, especially now, me with albinism, I'll just give a clue. It's the fact that I look different. Yes, we are the same, but the colors are different. So automatically, you'll not like copying very fast like anyone with a darker skin. It is hard. And the customers come slowly. Of course, when they keep getting to know you, they'll be like, okay, let's try. Let's try her out. Yes, even in terms of shopping downtown. But of course, me, I'm free.
Okay.
So we get into that career of Chico. We push each other and find a way out and do the shopping. Home, of course, they just have to understand. My kids have to know mommy is busy, and their daddy will know she's working, trying to get bread. Yes, that is where I am.
So you enjoy working in Uganda?
Yes, that is what I will have to say, but under persistence.
Okay. Have you faced any intimidation, especially maybe from the men themselves? Because we are super women, we also need to be given space to work.
Of course, not much. Yes.
They have been so kind and helpful. The fact that you're a woman and you're trying to tap into their spaces.
Yes, actually men, I don't know, but I've not had like something difficult. Men are easier for me to work with compared to working with a woman. I don't know. I don't think I'm the only one.
Okay, let's hear from them. How does it sound?
She's right.
She's all right, eh?
Yes.
Penina, would you?
Not really.
Not really. There's a balance.
There's a balance.
Because we need each other.
Yeah, women contribute to society as well as men, so we all need each other. Yeah.
So you have not encountered any intimidation?
No.
In your space?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, salute to the men. Let's agree to that. Well, Lighton, just moving to you, the club that you talked about, the tourism club, tell us more about it. Can anyone just be a part of the platform itself? And is it only for the women or it's balanced as well?
Tourism Promoters Club is a balanced club. We do promotion of tourism through marketing, most so marketing destination Uganda. Since the major problem that Uganda is facing in its tourism industry is marketing. Unlike other countries like Rwanda, Uganda's marketing is a bit low, and that's why we have low numbers of travelers, though we have the capacity. So Tourism Promoters Club has come up to ensure that that gap between the traveler and the destination is covered, to ensure that we are marketing Uganda basing on its capabilities, because we have everything. We have all the resources. We are highly blessed, and we have a lovely country. But what we were lacking is marketing. So we had to gather up all people who love Uganda, who love traveling to Uganda, market our destination through content creation, campaigns, training programs, workshops, and it has been an honor that people are actually taking it up. This club is not only for women, actually. The person actually who made it is a man, but to bring in that gender thing and the gender balance, everyone is invited, and you can all be part of it as long as you love traveling to Uganda. Yes.
Okay, what takes more of your attention? What captures your attention? What's really unique that really stands out for Uganda as a nation compared to the places that you've been to?
To me, what takes my attention in Uganda is that we have everything. I can't say this particular thing, though we mainly focus on nature-based tourism. But Uganda itself is a blessed nation. I love our culture. I love our food. I love our people. We are the most hospitable people in the whole of this continent. I love everything that you look at. When you go out here and you look outside Uganda, you just fall in love with it. It's a very beautiful thing. I can't really point out something that this is it, that I love this, but everything about this place is beautiful. Yes. Okay,
you tell us more of the places that you've been to shortly. I'll just move to Penny now. Would you concur with Lighton when it comes to the beauty and the variety that we have?
Yeah, I concur with her idea. Uganda is a blessed nation. Not only with beautiful women, handsome men, no, Uganda is just so beautiful everywhere, and everything that is in Uganda is beautiful. And also the social life of Ugandans, Uganda as a whole, it is just totally different from other countries out there. In fact, when you're Ugandan and you've never visited other countries out there, you might criticize your own country. But when you move to other countries, you'll be like, no, East or West home is the best. The way Ugandans welcome others, the way we are just so friendly with any other person. Uganda is so beautiful with very beautiful tourist destinations and everything that anyone would wish to visit. Yes.
Okay, so you won't cite out anything unique. Everything works for you.
Like Uganda is just a beautiful country. Actually, I don't complain about Uganda as a
Some of the places you've been to?
The places I've been to, let me say Western Uganda, Northern Uganda, Eastern Uganda, and Central. Uganda is beautiful, actually. Like when I complain about Uganda, I wouldn't be a good citizen. But one thing that I can complain about, someone who is working in the tour company, is the poor infrastructure. That is affecting even the
all those other regions that you've been to, it goes through with all the other regions that you've been to? The eastern and the western?
The eastern, actually, I think the eastern Uganda has the worst routes. But then the western is
the routes are a bit okay.
Yeah.
Then the infrastructure?
The infrastructure is okay. But then also the central, the potholes in the central. Actually, that is one thing that even international travelers first complain about when they come in Uganda, the potholes. But other things, the nature, the destinations, they're just so beautiful. Yes.
Okay, so they cannot have a trip around.
They can have, of course,
a trip around the city center.
Actually, they should also enjoy the potholes we always go through.
Since they don't have them.
Yes, since they don't have them.
And do they have to pay? Because we need some percentage coming through.
No, of course they pay. It's always packaged. Yes.
Or maybe just a bonus for those who want to enjoy it. Anyway, let's not talk about that. What exactly do you do at the organization?
TO Tours and Travel is a distinguished tour company dealing majorly in tours, international and domestic tours. Yes.
Now we shall get to that bit of domestic tourism. Yes, domestic tourism. Yes. Now we can excite all the people to take part.
Okay, domestic tourism in Uganda is a bit low compared to international. Because, and this is a problem that we are facing as Ugandans. Most Ugandans don't have, okay, maybe this is a bad term I would use, but we don't have the love for our country. Because it is very hard to find Ugandans saying that, okay, I want to go and visit the other part, like that, no. Domestic tour, we are now being affected as the tour companies because the citizens themselves, there is less love for the country. Yes, yeah.
There's a lot of gospel that has to still go around.
Yes, we need to market it. We need to sensitize people about it more. Yes.
But we need free trips to come through. Like they do the drives of like everyone is getting a mosquito net for free from government. We need certain.
But as a tour company, as still we always give away. We have like giveaways
at the end of the year.
End of the year.
Yes. Hey, okay. Penny, I will be sharing those tips on how to get the free trips.
Yes, sure, I will.
Okay, thinking about the next vacation or next public holiday, when it will be. If we miss during Matters Day and then Heroes Day, which other day?
Independence is coming.
Independence is coming. Yeah. Hey, okay, I'm still thinking.
Yes.
I'll move to Mutesi. People out there, they're like trying to fit in. You need to do a particular course. I need to do the ICT because it's the in thing for me to easily get a job. And you being a student, a graduate. What are your thoughts to that?
Usually picking a particular course depends on your own potentials as a person. Because I'm of a view you go for something that you're good at, something you feel like you can do. Because at the end of the day, this is you and the course you've taken and your degree. Because me, when I was joining campus, I looked through my own potentials. Even when I was choosing the combination at A level, I had to choose something that I would do. It's like you're going in for sciences and you're bad at sciences. So what's the point? What's the whole point of checking them? So I was like, okay, this is what I can do. And then I chose BBA, Bachelor's in Business Admin, because I had potential and I could do it.
And your passion was right there.
Yes, and my passion was there.
Yeah, like you'll be best blessed, right, if you did the administration.
Exactly.
But you know, some parents tend to force their children. You have to do this because dad is a doctor, we have a lawyer in the family, you have to do something that is related to it.
Of which I disagree with.
Did you encounter such?
I did not. I did not. My
so should we say your parents were supportive or guardians around?
They were. They were. They're like, go in for something that you can do and something you feel like you're good at. Something you feel like you can give your best.
So you're ready to get into the entrepreneur, to be an entrepreneur in Uganda, right?
Yes, I
Looking
am.
forward. Eh?
Yes.
Okay, these ladies will share with us some tips because one thinks of like I need to have lots of savings for me to start. How do I start? I think Joanita is the right person to share that information. How did you start?
I didn't have a lot of savings. I actually just bumped into me because I tried the employment sector, being employed, and things weren't so nice. So I was moving on the street and saw an empty shop. I'm like, okay, how much is this? And like 150. I'm like, okay, now let me rush and at least get 3 months. Because one thing I know in the business, some people are like, first get a place, then you think of what to do. Others are like, I had a lot of money, so I got a place and filled my shop with a lot of stuff. But me, I only started with 450,000. That was rent. And slowly, I'm sure by the time the 3 months exceeded, at least I had something in stock. So business is not something that you have to rush and first sit and study what to do, look at the demands and what moves first. Most people get into business and be like, hey, so and so is making money, so I think even me, if I do the same thing, I will also get the same money that she's getting, forgetting that when you get into a business, you do what you like. Now, I love makeup. I love looking good, like fashion. Yes, that is what I focused on. And apparently, I think I'm not so, okay, I will not say I'm so good at business or I'm fine now, but of course, I'm not doing so badly. Yes.
It's a journey for you.
It's a journey, yes, it's a journey. Don't look at your neighbor, hey, so and so started up a shop and boom, with a lot of stock. I know most buy. Me too. At first, I was like,
you wanted it bigger, like a supermarket.
I know. How am I going to open an empty shop? But what you have is what you start with. If this one starts with a lot of money, for you don't have the money, will you still? Patience. And business is seasonal.
Did you have like those silent voices of like, will I make it?
Of course, I had them.
Friends are going to be looking at me.
I had them, even the community itself. They'll be like, you know, they speak like, Ana sobora. Yani ana mugurako. So the rest is just background. Is just look at you. Don't look at what someone says about you. Yes.
Okay, good advice for Modesty. So you're ready to get into the business world. Okay, Lighton, a little bit about the places that you've been to.
I have traveled, I think, around Uganda. I think I'm almost done with Uganda. I have been to Western Uganda, I've been to Eastern Uganda, I've been to Northern Uganda. Though I can say my best of all has been Western Uganda. There is something unique about it. There is a way,
the weather,
everything about it.
Sites.
It's exciting, that touch of nature, and most of the attractions actually are there. So whatever you need, you can find it in Western Uganda and Southwestern Uganda. Though I can say about the prices, Southwest is expensive.
Not affordable for us.
It's a bit expensive when it comes to, more so for gorilla trekking for us, the citizens. That's why very many people don't engage in domestic tourism because of that. The money, it's a bit expensive for them. But if you really love Uganda, you can actually travel. There have been campaigns that have been made by the government recently of Explore North, Explore West, Explore this. So if you really love your country, you can actually jump onto those because they're free. They're paid for by the government to ensure that domestic tourism is promoted. So people who love Uganda can actually go into those trips so that you can know your destination without actually paying a fee.
So why don't you help us out and blow noise so that they reduce those prices for us?
Well, for the prices, I think we should have a national pricing for us Ugandans. Knowing our income, let them know that the people in Uganda, how much do we earn? And then you charge us, you make packages according to what we earn. Not because this place is expensive, so that you limit us from going there. That's the one thing that is disturbing us actually.
So Penina, you had the argument that is coming through. When it comes to domestic tourism, we need to understand your packages. Have you been favorable, like she puts it?
Yeah, actually, Tio Tours and Travel is one of the countries that organizes the cheapest local tours in Uganda. Yeah, it is not okay when you go out on internet and maybe look out for those hotels and so on. Like they seem to be expensive, but as tour companies, we know how to break these packages down that can favor the citizens. Yes.
How long have you been in business?
3 years.
What needs to be done? Because I know there's so many other complaints that come through from tourist operators. Okay, yeah, the tourist operators. Like say the licenses, the government organizations to consider you people, so that because at the end of the day you're marketing Uganda itself, to give an exemption on some other stuff, so that you can accommodate everyone, including the Ugandans.
Including Ugandans. Actually, the challenge we are having is like the economy is a bit getting high, and the government is not looking at the private entities.
So nothing like looking into the incentives.
No. I think they are doing it, but not to the
level that you would have wanted.
Yes. Yeah. So it is just a matter of also like to favor the citizens actually, because to make it better for our citizens, I think that tour companies, the private companies, they need to come together as one and see what is best for Ugandans. Because we see like the prices are the ones that are chasing away Ugandans from touring their own country.
Depending on that, at least the research you've done.
Yes.
With the private companies and the government entities,
Yes.
is the pricing.
Yeah, the pricing.
Okay. So government has to put a little bit of consideration.
A little bit of consideration, and also some of the private, now let me say like the hotel owners, they should know that they're also dealing with Ugandans.
Instead of someone traveling and spending the whole week in a what do they call it?
In a tent.
Yes, thank you.
No, but either way, Ugandans can afford hotels, but there's a weakness with the hotel managers, like they cost things in dollars. That scares away Ugandans. Yes.
Okay, even if it's just a little bit of $5 or $10, one is like,
like,
oh, it is dollars. The fact that the word comes in.
If I visit a hotel, if I visit their website and I'm seeing them posting things in dollars, it could be $10, it could be $20, but why not in Ugandan shillings? Those things should be for internationals, not the citizens.
Yeah. They're all in agreement.
Yes.
Okay, you want to add something to it?
Yeah, I would want to add on something to her opinion about the hotel owners. And the other thing, I think we have a problem of favoritism, where we prefer certain travelers to others. So majority of, if you discuss with majority of tour operators actually, they'll be like, oh no, we don't deal, Ugandans are budget travelers. Yeah. We deal with luxury. So
they don't have such they will not even tolerate it.
Yeah, some people will be like, no, me I don't deal, I know Ugandans. Tagenda kuvako sente. So you find that a Ugandan is actually left out by tour owners or by accommodation facilities, something like that. Unlike the destinations, for example, national parks, they favor Ugandans because at the entrance it's friendly. It's friendly to enter a park, but maybe the accommodation inside, that's what is limiting Uganda. Because Ugandans, I doubt majority of us can afford Chobe. It's quite expensive for us, and the mere fact that these people maybe look at high income earners as their target, though all business should have targets, but then look at our destination. This is something that is feeding us as a nation.
I don't know what needs to be done. Honestly, I'm trying to figure it out.
But
there has to be a bit of balance.
To add something on what she has said, it's not that we're operators. Okay, like what makes us to leave out citizens? Because you can really organize a trip for 450,000 to Western Uganda, 3 days, and then the nights, everything.
And someone is trying to negotiate.
Yes, they're going to negotiate, and they'll be like, no, at least let me pay 200,000.
What is your last price?
Which like it cannot even.
Yet they want
Western Uganda.
They are thinking on that 200.
They want to eat well. They
want
to
good
sleep
food.
Well. They want
have
to
a full course.
Yes, they want to go for nature walks. They want to go for game drives. So like you also get confused. Like what do Ugandans really want?
No, you tell them we're going to take you. You eat well, but at least some activities you won't be able to do.
They cannot accept. They cannot accept.
And light on is seriously pinning to our operators here.
They cannot accept.
She's right. I can say, I want to put it in this court, not in a bad faith.
Like you want a cake, I can still bake for you the cake. But I'll not bake for you the same cake as the other one who paid the 20 million. I'll bake for you, eh?
Okay.
Though it's 1 million.
Exactly.
Not in bad faith, but
I'm going to put it in one box. Ugandans love luxury on a budget. That's their problem. They want something fancy at a very cheap price. So that's the problem where it comes from. That I want something good but at a low price. That's their problem.
Okay. Let me hear it from Joanita. What would your take be? They're giving you, they're telling you we charge in dollars, everything is in dollars. Do you want to go and enjoy yourself and enjoy all the other activities? Sleep in a hotel?
In dollars. Honestly, it will be
Wouldn't
hard.
you want to travel in all those places?
Of course, I want to go, but the dollar thing will turn me off because I have shillings. Then I have again to exchange and get dollars. You get.
But have you thought about traveling, going to those various places?
Not really, because I think it's expensive.
So the only thing that holds you back is the expensive bit of it.
Expensive thing, I think it's for the rich ones. Most tourists, because I grew up in Tororo, and you know that rock, but most times we used to see only whites climbing the rock. So
the ones who are closer, the ones who are closer don't even want to go there.
I know. So
you would be like, they're going to charge us a lot of
they're
money.
going to charge us now something.
After all, you can see it from a distance.
And they blast, and you're like, okay, they are making cement, so I know.
Hey. Okay, so at least you've had a story.
So they have to just create awareness for people to come into tourism. By that, me, myself, I'm like, now that money, let me stay.
I'd rather add more capital.
Most of the time. Yes.
Okay, Motes, what do you think? Wouldn't you want to travel?
I personally love traveling. I love traveling, but usually your budget limits you. I mean, you look into what you have, how much money do you have, how much do you even earn before you go in for those tours. And the fact that they price in dollars, it's a turn-off to me as well. I mean, why don't you just tell me if it's 600,000 shillings, just tell me 600,000 shillings instead of telling me dollars. But some people, like, they don't understand the dollar bit of the story. I might be having
we are
my
Uganda
money,
and everything has to be Ugandan.
Why price in
Tangible African
dollars?
hands. The feel is in the touch. Okay, so which places would you love to go? Penina here said they have offers at the end of the year.
Okay.
Which place would you love to go to? We need to join the campaign and start now.
I would love to visit Western Uganda, really.
Hey, so you concur with light one. Western is good.
It is the center of tourism.
Hey, but someone would brag about Ginger. There are lots of activities, crossing the Nile on the line, wall climbing, bungee jumping.
It is beautiful, but Western Uganda is the center of tourism. Yeah, it has lots, it has variety. Yeah.
Variety, what do you mean? Nature walks,
it
the
has
bird
different
species.
destinations, but then when you go to Ginger, the activities are all the same. You're going to go for zip lining, you're going to go for boat cruise. It's all centered in that thing. But then when you go to Western Uganda, you're going to tour various places, very many places that you go. Yeah. So that's why I think most people prefer Western Uganda. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Motes,
Yes, please.
we need to know the procedure. What do we need to do? Please ask Penina.
Okay, like,
If you want to have an opportunity.
what are the procedures, really?
Or for owning, or maybe getting a free tour.
Definitely. What do I have to do?
Okay, like every end of year, we always like organize something. It is called like a quiz win something. Like we always like host some people on radio. Mostly we use like we've been using Delta. We call them and then they answer some questions. And then when they pass them, they could ask you that what is the most beautiful animal in Uganda. And then when you answer that, we always like give offers. If you win, let me say if she wins and she has a husband, she's going to go with her husband. Yes.
So, just to ask
Everything
something.
catered for.
Yes, I'm giving you an opportunity.
Okay.
Feel free to ask.
Thank you. So usually the quiz questions that they ask, are they always tourism centered?
Yeah, tourism center.
Someone has to do research.
Okay. Okay.
So what happens? Do we have to go to the website?
Now this now goes back to Ugandans. We need to know our country. Yes, you don't need to wait for something to come up and then you research about it. We always need to be aware of our country, what is there, what is beautiful. We don't need to give chance to internationals to know our country more than we do. Yes.
No, but I mean the offer, like the platform, when the questions are coming through.
just comes
Do I have
up.
to visit your website
No,
to know when it will come up?
Yeah, you can always visit our website, but when the time is due, we always make advertisements.
And then what is the website? For her to follow up your activities.
You can visit TIO Tours and Travel. It's everywhere on Twitter, like on every other platform.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And then also Lighton has the tourism club.
If you want to know more about Destination Uganda, you want to know how to market it, we hold trainings, we hold workshops. Last month we were in Kapchora and seeing CP falls and all that. We had also training from various experts in the sector. So if you really want to know anything about the Destination Uganda, just have to come and join us in Tourism Promoters Club. Then you know about Uganda. Another thing, we also organize tours. We don't just promote tourism alone.
You also organize tours.
Yes.
And have offers like
Yes,
Penina.
yes, we have
please
offers.
just let us know about them.
We have offers for those who really want to know, like you want to market Uganda and you want to get diverse knowledge about it. We organize trips. We can choose a destination. For example, I can say how we chose CP last month. We go there. We talk about tourism, refresh, get to know each other. Connections, networks, and all those things, get to know the players in the sector. And the other thing is that we give also incentives, like to those ones who want to join us. We give you like a discount to go with us, something like that.
So they are not fully free.
Ugandans are free.
Not really fully free because
we have to be prepared for this thing. Maybe also Tio Tours and Travel would be interested in offer. And actually,
Do you help the tourist operator, someone who wants to start
everyone
operating?
Everyone.
You take them through the guidelines.
Yeah, we take
through the
you
trainings.
Yes.
Hey, amazing.
Everyone is well, even you. We need the media. We need the media to be there. So even the media, we need it.
Maybe some tips for someone out there. We did host some week back. We did host the ladies who are doing who are tour guides. Maybe you could share some of the tips that one needs to have to stand out and be the best.
Well, for one thing I saw about tour guides, one thing they lack is like the online visibility. Unlike tour operators are seen everywhere. You see, like Sha said, Tio, they have a website, they have an online presence, they're on Twitter. But unlike tour guides,
actually, we also have the Tio app.
They don't have that.
You have the app.
Yeah, we have a Tio app.
The guides don't have that, and they don't market themselves. You will not find them on websites. So it's more of like, I know my friend who's a guide, who I can connect you to. I know this one who's a guide. And so if they would also make like an entity for themselves and they be like, I'm a guide, I can present myself on media, so that everyone knows that Lighton, I'm a guide, I'm on Twitter. If you need me, I'm on this, I have my website, I can connect, and to you everywhere. You will be great. Actually, you'll be the best. Yes.
Okay, that takes us to our discussion. We'll be celebrating the women still to do in ICT, like in various spaces and everything that we do. She's also a student, a graduate. I'm sure ICT has helped her in a way to do her research and her work. How has it helped you in your day-to-day work?
That is IT.
Yes.
IT has really helped us because actually IT is something that we should embrace. Ugandans should embrace like IT, now let me say like digital marketing. It's going to help a lot because the world is going digital and we are not going to, people who don't want to embrace like digital marketing, they're going to remain behind. So I advise like the tour operators out there, the tour companies and any other person in any other sector to embrace digital marketing. Yes.
I had Juanita right there doing business. It has to be your friend.
Yeah, it is, because I do most of my things, I sell them online. Because if the community is not picking me up, then I think I do it.
And does the money come through, or they're like, she can't see me?
Oh, I can see. Of course, cash on delivery. Yes, that is what I do.
Okay, what advice would you share with the rest of the other women out there who are like, those things are not ours, therefore uptown, those ones who have gone to school and they don't want to take part?
Actually, it is very simple. If you embrace it, you find yourself learning, and it saves time. If your sales are low in the community, at least you're sure someone will see your post on Facebook and will inbox you like, how about this? Can you deliver this? Blah, 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 like that. Even if you don't make sales at home, you make the sales online. Yes, like it brings more customers.
Okay. Just moving to the celebrations that are taking place today, that is in Masaka, right?
Yes.
Yes. What are some of those things that you would love to see change in Uganda now that today is World Albinism Day, Awareness Day? What are some of those things that you would want to see change? I want the viewer to get to know, hearing it from you.
I think the employment sector should change. Yes, like I've been employed somewhere before because business wasn't my course. I did hotel management. Of course, I got a job and the boss liked me, but my fellow employees didn't take me up. They made my life hard till I had to resign and get into business. So I just want people to know that we are there, we exist. We are the same, despite the color, we are the same. And we can do what you can do. Actually, we can even do what anyone else can't do. We are better. That is what I think. I am better. So please, employers, give us time, especially in class. Teachers, please don't beat us for not doing your work because we are short-sighted sometimes. Actually,
because
most
I wanted
times.
to ask, how about the other voices that come from either your neighbors or maybe your children?
Yes.
What are those complaints that you hear them say?
Wow.
Now they talk about the teaching bit.
The teaching bit.
And the site itself.
We are short-sighted, but I think that one, they talk to UNEB. Some people have done exams, UNEB with big fonts, except me, I did the one with a small font. But of course, they gave me more time, and I finished them. Then for our children, especially my children, I don't take them to schools where I haven't been. Yes, I have a son in secondary, and of course, I took him to one of my schools. Then my daughter, the little one, 8, I saw a child with albinism in that school, and I was like, okay, I think I can put her there. She will not...
So that she gets a friend.
Yes, so that she gets a friend, and it will not be new in the school when I come, because each time I come and they're like, hey, your mommy, your mommy, your mommy, it automatically affects her.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's her voice, Joanita. I'll just move to Mutesi here. Some of the things that you would love to see change now that you're not a part of the celebrations in Masaka, but you are on the national broadcaster.
Definitely.
I know your voice is going to be heard. And the president is at home.
Oh.
So he's on leave.
Okay.
He could be watching the national broadcaster and get your views as we continue to pray for him to get better.
Yeah. I would love to see an environment that has inclusion, where persons with albinism are given equal opportunities with the rest. I would love to see, like she said, the employment sector. Though me personally, I haven't faced that discrimination
In school.
in school and even when I applied for jobs, because was it last year? Last year I was working, at the same time I was attending lectures. So usually I remember I went and asked for a job. I applied normally like how it's done. I was working in a casino, and then when I applied for that job, she looked through my applications and she interviewed me, the manager, and she employed me, and the rest of the people were just treating me equally like any other person. And then I think when you stand out, it's a matter of standing out and showing people what you can actually do. I mean, if I'm qualified at the end of the day, why don't you employ me? So we need to see that change. We need to fight that discriminatory part of the story in the employment sector. The fact that I look different and the fact that I might not cope up, at the same time, someone who is not like me can cope up, because like she said, we are short-sighted. In some circumstances, we need extra time, especially like during the examination period. As in school, and I was given that I was favored, and I was given that extra time during the examinations. And then, for example, when you employ me and coping up with the computer, the fact that I'm short-sighted, you need to consider me. You need to put that consideration part of the story. If you do that for me, I can perform like any other person.
Wow.
Yes.
I think all that goes to the employers, business owners to embrace. Like Joanita says, no discrimination. I've seen the stigma come through. One is like, don't assign that one. That one is always sick. So people should at least accommodate everyone, even the fellow employees at the end of the day, if someone is part of your society. Because we're all unique in each way. You need to learn something from Penina, much as you would love to learn from Lighton. We all stand out at some point.
Yes.
Would you love to add a voice to?
Well, for me, I can say, like I said, the inclusion part. Regardless of how I look like, regardless of maybe
Because
what
I am short and small,
yeah.
and then you're like,
You
this one will not manage.
You should appreciate me the way I am. And it all comes back to us, the community, embracing each other. Majority of us, like majority of the community, have not been sensitized to know how to handle people who are different from them. They have not been given that knowledge of how to handle people who have different abilities from them. There is that form of stigma or stereotypes that come out, even to us, to women in the sector. It is always there. You'll find that some people would want to, you're good at your job, but someone will be like, no, I want a male guide.
Yes, I'll have to employ a man.
Yeah, I want a man. I want a man for this. So the whole stigma thing should actually end, and the community out there should know that we are all different. We shall never be the same, but we have to embrace each other in that way. It's something like that.
Okay. Penina, something from you?
Yeah, just like they said, disability is not inability. So I think we should accept people the way they are in society, at workplaces, because like someone being of a different color doesn't stop them from being productive at work. So we all need to welcome others at work environments. Like we should just employ everyone. Yeah, because everyone is capable of doing something. Yes.
Okay. Getting back to tourism part of it, Penina. How would you rate Uganda? I know it's big and beautiful.
Uganda, just like I said, Uganda is one of the best tourism countries in the whole world. Yeah, when it comes to nature, when it comes to anything that comes around with tourism, Uganda is just a very beautiful country, and I advise everyone out there to develop love for the country. Let us move and visit our own country to know it better.
Okay,
Yes.
at least now I've been having expos come through in relation to tourism, a little bit of awareness and Miss Tourism, and those other initiatives that government is putting in place. At least at some point, okay, at this time, would you a little bit sit and rub your hands on, like, at least we've done something when it comes to tourism?
Yeah, we've done something, sure. Yeah.
So what have you benefited from the expos?
From the expo, like last a month back, we participated in the Powate Expo that took place in Munyonyo. Yeah, we like the companies. It was an international expo, not only for Uganda but also other countries, Africa wide. So we managed to attend the expo and we benefited. We managed to market ourselves, not only to Ugandans but also to other companies. Yeah.
So there is follow-up. Yeah. And now you're going to go miles.
Yes,
because
we are already going miles.
Amazing. So we should have more of those coming in.
Yes, true.
More expos.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Lighton, what do you think about them? Did you learn from them, or do we need more? A lot has to be done.
Well, I can say is that the initiatives are great. I love the initiatives that they're actually putting up. The expo was actually, I attended it. It was very nice. We got to know very many players that we didn't know actually, and there were always conferences, so you would actually to tap in and you know where we lie right now as Africa. not as just Uganda as a destination, but Africa-wise, where do we lie? We have the greatest marketing destination, the greatest destination, Africa, the continent, and one of the speakers on that conference was like, our continent is good, is the best in fact, but only challenge we have is maybe marketing and maybe the boundaries, the borders and all that. And we think for Uganda we are good because we have the East African community. It has really helped us to break the border challenges, that we can actually access other countries that are next to us, which is really good. And the expos were really good, and the campaigns they're putting out are great. They've helped us to promote domestic tourism. Right now, it has helped us to increase the GDP, the domestic tourism that is being promoted on those campaigns that are being pushed over by UTB and the ministry, which is a very great initiative. Yes.
Okay. Earlier on you said your other something else that stands out as that makes us stand out as Uganda is the food, and I also love eating.
Yes.
At the expo, were there a variety of different types of foods?
Yes, they were there.
Africa-wise or Uganda-wise?
I think since the expo was more about Pearl of Africa, they mainly enhanced our culture food. I like the fact that they put it there that this is us, this is our food. If you're to come to Uganda, you have to embrace our food.
Okay, Joanna, what's your best food? Or you eat everything like me that crosses you?
I'm more of rice.
You're more of rice?
Yes, rice
for sure. What's your best?
Only if I don't have
you're like me. So long as
it's nice and sweet and good
as long as it's Ugandan, you just do it. Penny, what's your best?
Any well-prepared dish.
Okay. Going back to the expo talk, what are some of those limitations that were cited out that were holding us back away from us not being able to market Uganda much better?
Okay. I wanted to add something earlier on what she said. Like that Poverty Expo, it is really something that benefited Ugandans, but also it should not only be once in a year for better marketing. They should put like maybe expos like 3 years in a year, like to help
quarterly
like, small
basis,
companies to market themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
Quarterly basis. Okay. Now, before we let you go, we've been honored. Thank you so much for making time to come and visit us as a national broadcaster. Now that we know His Excellency is on leave, and I know various people watching, the stakeholders, people who can really help out. I need them to hear your voice. I'll start with Joanita at the end. If you happen to meet His Excellency or someone in charge of your ministry, what would you air out now that you're not in Masaka, but at least you're on a better platform? You're home.
Oh.
Yes, before we let you go, what would your voice be?
Inclusion.
Inclusion.
Health-wise and academically, even employment sector. We all need to be included. Even I actually prefer if they would train the medical workers about albinism, because even when you're giving back, I remember when I was pregnant, one of the nurses was like, aren't you scared of the baby you're going to give? I'm like, no, I actually want one who looks like me. She's like, are you serious? How, if a nurse talks like that, what will someone outside there talk? Yes.
Yet you're going through the pain, the labor pains, and someone is having such a conversation.
I know. I need inclusion and awareness. Mostly should be promoted. Nothing else.
Okay.
That is all I want for a better Uganda.
Thank you for that voice coming through. Lighton, a working woman in tourism, having muscles like a man, enjoying Uganda, so patriotic. Yes. Some of the things that the government should get to know. Or the women out there who would want to take part and be part of your club.
Well, I think one thing that the government should do for me, for most of my sector, is to help us promote like content creation, because our sector bases on marketing. So let them help us with that bit. Help the content creators, most of the travel writers, travel vloggers, give them incentives. Push them further. The photographers, those people, they need us. They need you. They need the government itself. So I would say, and for the women out there who want to join the sector, just come in. It's fully open for you. Yes.
Okay. Penda, before we let you go, now I'd love to hear you, if you happen.
Okay, first and foremost, before I can air out my point, I want to wish our dear president, our grandfather, quick recovery. And then what needs to be done in Uganda, as someone who is in the sector, the government should really come out and work on the activities that are going to boost tourism, like the roads infrastructure. The government should look so much into that. The hotels, now like we have some places that are so good and then one would wish to visit, but the hotels are limited. That's why you find like people going to camps, things like that, people going to camping. So the government should come in and help us, especially us who are in the private sectors. Yes.
Amazing submission. I'll move to you, Motesi. What would you want to see change, or what needs to be done?
Well,
are you out training? Because you need to get to the investment club. Are you already training?
Training
for your course? Because we want you to get out of here getting into entrepreneurial skills.
Okay.
Or are you already training for a job?
I am.
Are you already training for a job? Or you want to get into business like Joanne?
I want to, I was planning to start applying as soon as I can to different companies. And then I myself, I'm self-employed at some point, not that much, because I used to own a bakery. And then I had to first put it to a stand when I started school because it was hard balancing that.
Why didn't you come in media?
I'll come back. So
your voice.
Before I air out my voice, I would love to first thank you, Sandra, for hosting us.
My pleasure.
For giving us the opportunity, and as well thank Olive Namutevi because she's one of the reasons I'm here actually. Okay. Yes, so thank you very much.
Greetings to Olive.
Greetings to you, Olive. And then what I would love to be done is I won't differ so much from Joanne, the inclusion part of the story. I might not have faced that discriminatory part of the story when I applied for employment in any company, but someone out there who has faced it. We need to stop this discrimination, especially when it comes to employment. It's a matter of time, me catching up and being able to do what others can do. I am qualified. Why don't you employ me? Just because I'm different doesn't mean that I can't perform, because I myself have seen myself performing and winning certificates. So even someone who is out there, you think you can't, someone who is like me, baby girl, baby boy, you can do it. You can do it. It's a matter of believing in yourself and pushing hard, because it's not easy. I can't assure you it's not easy, but we keep pushing hard for something better and to always have hope that something great and something better is going to happen in the future. And then the sensitization bit of the story. Some people are still primitive, people are still backward. They still have these crazy myths about persons with albinism, which are actually not true. So the sensitization has to really, it has to be pushed further so that we can create a world where...
What do they say? What are those myths? At least we have a minute to go.
People say that persons with albinism don't die, like they just disappear. They say like people, like when you get married to a woman with albinism, it means you're going to have a lot of wealth, which is not true. So it's just, these myths are still ongoing, trust me.
Oh my God.
So we need to push this sensitization harder and harder so that we can create a world.
So they don't come for love. They're like, okay, I'll get money. Then they get married to you.
Exactly. Like
weird.
Weird.
Wow. Time is against us. 1 minute to the top of the hour. We have to be out of studio at the hour of 11 a.m. It's been a pleasure spending time with you, our dear viewer. And of course, a pleasure to spend time with our beautiful ladies for the day. A great inspiration. I cannot thank them enough. I thank you so much, Juanita, at the extreme end, for making time to join us and be an inspiration to the viewer who is watching. And Lighton, thank you very much. Keep holding the flag high, the Ugandan flag, as far as tourism is concerned. Penina, we shall be knocking at your door for those offers coming through. Greetings to the people at TIO, Tours and Travel. Thank you for holding Uganda's flag.
Thank you.
And Mutesi next to me. Thank you for making time. Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Keep shining. You're going to give me one of those, eh?
Okay.
Love you.
Thank you.
Well, that's all we had time for today's episode. Join us once again tomorrow, same time, same place, and keep watching the National Broadcaster. We're coming to a live from Broadcast House, Nile Avenue. My name is Sandra Kahonde. Salute from us. God bless you. Enjoy your day.